Not too long ago, the mere thought of a decent film or TV show adapted from a video game would have been met with laughter. But in 2023, that notion has dramatically shifted, especially as far as streaming platforms are concerned and animated adaptations are at the forefront. Onimusha, a Netflix series by Studio Sublimation under the direction of Maestro Takashi Miike, is the latest addition into this growing list of success. Onimusha, from the Capcom game series, is often described as Samurai Resident Evil. The series, which is based on the game, takes place during Japan's Warring States period and chronicles the adventures of world-weary samurai Miyamoto Musashi. Onimusha offers a visceral, demon-slaying experience, drenched in gore and excels particularly in its action sequences. So, in this video, we will explore everything there is to explore the protagonist Musashi Miyamoto, aka Onimusha, who is on a mission to exterminate another force of undead monstrosities, and Musashi is aided by a mythical Oni gauntlet. So without further ado, let's begin. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. 7 samurais, 3 villains. Musashi Miyamoto was a legendary swordsman who was known across large pockets of Japan for his skills in battles. Nothing short of a legend with an uber-sassy persona, Musashi could do things with a sword that Beethoven did with musical notes and Picasso did with his paintbrush. We meet him while he takes on multiple adversaries simultaneously. Of course, the skills he displays are nothing short of remarkable, but he is being observed by a couple of monks. It almost seems like Musashi was trying to take a test. Musashi emerged victorious, having defeated 33 opponents over a span of 3 days. But why was he keeping track? Well, for each opponent that he defeated, he was to receive a day with an extremely powerful artifact, and Musashi had struck a deal with the temple's leader. Naturally, the temple's leader grants him the item called the Oni Gauntlet for a 33-day period. Furthermore, to ensure the artifact's timely return, the temple leader sends his apprentice Kaizen to oversee the arrangement. Musashi reunites with a group of samurai on a mission to confront their rebellious comrade named Iemen, following their lord's orders. This group consisted of Matsuki Kensuke and his disciples, who found themselves lucky to have found help from a renowned swordsman like Musashi. The wayward samurai Iemen had initially been dispatched to resolve a dispute in a mountain village, however, he went rogue instead. When a spy was sent to check on him, Iemen subjected the spy to torture, severing his hands and legs before sending him back. As the group journeys through the forest throughout the day, they decide to rest for the night before covering the last leg of their journey. Musashi makes a startling claim during a break. He asserts that there are 3 villains among the 7 samurais, with 2 of them being traitors. Shockingly, Matsuki himself is revealed to be one of the traitors who had been swayed by the cause championed by Iemen. Matsuki and Musashi were left with no choice but the battle, a fight to the death. Matsuki was a skilled warrior, a man who trained samurais, so you can understand his skills. However, Musashi's skills were beyond extraordinary against his human opponents, so he made quick work of Matsuki. Next, he turned his eyes toward an other traitor, Gensai. Musashi's skills are beyond swordsmanship. Following his victory over Matsuki, Musashi sets his sights on the other traitor Gensai. To his surprise, Gensai is revealed as a monstrous entity possessed by Iemen and the demonic creatures called the Genma. Musashi must rely on the Oni Gauntlet to confront this supernatural threat. You see, the Gauntlet not only gave Musashi powers, but it could also absorb the souls of the Genma who were killed while the Gauntlet was wielded by the killer. In the game, this allows the protagonist's health to regenerate, and they get additional powers and skills. In the series, the Oni Gauntlet does similar things, but it also takes a toll on the wielder, turning them less human with each kill. In the Gauntlet, the restless souls of the Oni yearn for vengeance against the Genma, who were responsible for their clan's downfall. However, the series doesn't delve into this aspect a lot. Musashi, realizing the Gauntlet's potential to consume him if worn for too long, decides to remove it. Their journey continues, eventually leading them to an abandoned village. Here, they encounter Sayo, a young girl who is the village's sole survivor. She is initially elusive, but Kaizen manages to find her and ensures her that they are not a threat. While looking for Sayo, Musashi displays some really fine detective skills and correctly assumes many things about the village and what must have transpired. Sayo, the badass young girl, doesn't reveal a lot to her new friends, and before she can open up a lot, the samurais get ambushed by hordes of zombies. As they face off against hordes of zombies, we learn that Goromaru, a pretty healthy-looking samurai, was exceptional in hawk handling skills, which of course helped him in the battle. Musashi soon realizes that they are getting outnumbered and overpowered, so they had to use another tactic, something that involved more than blades. They had previously found gunpowder in the village, so Musashi lured the zombies towards him using Sayo as a bait, but she was at no point in danger because Musashi was protecting her with his life. Using gunpowder, they managed to repel the zombie onslaught. Afterward, they questioned Sayo about the village's tragic fate. She explains that the discovery of gold in a nearby mine led to conflicts among the villagers. When Iemen arrived, his overwhelming greed drove him to take control, transforming many of the villagers into monsters. But was it only greed that made Iemen go to the dark side? Becoming Oni. Nevertheless, the samurais were now determined that they had to stop Iemen, but more importantly, they realized that their lord wasn't all that nice and wanted to keep the discovery of gold a secret. Their path through the forests had become extremely dangerous by now, so they decided to press forward into the mountains. Sayo insists on joining their quest, motivated by her desire for vengeance against the man who killed her grandparents and abducted her parents. She was just a child, but her determination and confidence were sharper than the sharpest of katanas. While taking a break near a stream to quench their thirst, the group falls under attack once again, and even this time around, it is a horde of zombies. Sayo was the one leading the group, but despite being a local and knowing the nooks and crannies of the forest, she realized that she had been tricked into taking a different route. Someone had cut down trees to change the shape of the forest. Around here, we also realized that Musashi was being pulled down because of his age. Yes, he was a skilled warrior and all that, but the brunt of time had started to take its toll on him. Nevertheless, they managed to fend off the undead assailants, but tragedy strikes as Goromaru, one of the most amiable characters and the sweetest of the samurais, falls victim to a deadly spear wielded by a masked assailant, who swiftly abducts Sayo before disappearing into the shadow. This strange figure appeared and disappeared as quickly as lightning, and it seemed as if it was not human. Next thing we know, multiple voices beckon Musashi, informing him that if he wishes to rescue Sayo, he must meet them at a temple nestled in the mountains the following day. Kaizen remains indifferent to Sayo's plight, but the remaining samurai, Sahe and Heikuro, are determined to join Musashi in her rescue. Kaizen wanted to carry on with his journey and find Iemen. He believed that if Iemen was defeated, Sayo's abductors would let her go because both these parties were working together. However, that was far from the truth. Upon reaching the temple, the three mysterious figures unveiled their identities as the Yoshioka, brothers from Kyoto who were also renowned swordsmen whom Musashi had defeated and killed 2 decades ago. But they found the power of Genma and came back from the realm of the dead. They imprisoned Sayo beneath a bell and ignited from outside while challenging Musashi to a duel. You see, they had put a tricky situation before Musashi. To save Sayo, he had to kill the brothers, this time for good. Desperate to save Sayo, Musashi dons the powerful gauntlet, which transforms him into a formidable force. He becomes Oni. He battles the grotesque, deformed Yoshioka monstrosities, and after a long and exhausting battle, he emerges victorious. On the other hand, the Fury Bell is overturned and Sayo is rescued from her perilous predicament. However, the price of their victory is the sacrifice of Kaizen, who valiantly pushes the burning bell to save Sayo. In his final moments, Kaizen asks for a promise from Musashi to fulfill his commitment and return the gauntlet to the temple. Also, he reassures Sayo that her actions were not responsible for his demise. Musashi only gets better. Moving further, Musashi and his samurais also cross paths with the Yoshioka sisters. In the first confrontation, he struggles a bit against them, but when they strike again, they realize their great mistake. Amid these tumultuous events, Sayo confesses that she was the one who discovered the gold, and she places the blame squarely upon herself for all the ensuing misfortune. However, Musashi tells her that she was only partly and unintentionally at fault. She never wanted to hurt anyone, and that all the murders and violence that ensued were the fault of other people and only them. On the other hand, Heikuro grapples with profound existential questions, pondering why he has survived when his brothers met grim fates. However, he soon manages to overcome his moment of doubt. Eventually, their relentless quest finally leads the remaining samurais, including Musashi, to the coveted gold mine, where they are met by Alfred, Iemen's faithful butler. Alfred extends an invitation, offering them a tour of the opulent gold palace, Iemen's residence, and the laboring mines where villagers toil. He shares Iemen's grand plan of world domination with them and inquires inquires if they would like to be a part of it. Their descent sets off a tense battle as Alfred summons a centaur-like soldier harnessed to a chariot. Equipped with a rifle and bow-wielding centaur, Alfred opens fire on Musashi and his companions. Heikuro seizes this moment to affirm his existence and seek vengeance for his fallen brothers. He releases a hallucinogenic substance into the air and deliberately takes an arrow hit, enhancing the potency of the poison. He hands over a bag filled with antidote pellets to the others before willingly sacrificing himself. This selfless act empowers Musashi to finish the job and save Sayo, whose parents suddenly appear. Upon their arrival, Sayo's parents inexplicably turn malevolent, choking their own daughter. It's then that Iemen unveils himself, explaining that he controls their actions, thereby forcing Musashi to choose between saving Sayo by making her an orphan or letting her die. While her parents beseech Musashi to end their lives, Sayo pleads for him not to do so. Ultimately, Musashi makes the heartbreaking decision to behead Sayo's parents, sparing them further anguish. Iemen persistently implores Musashi to join his cause and proceed to summon yet another of Musashi's rivals, Sasaki Kojiro, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation. Iemen's fate. In a dramatic turn of events, Iemen instructs Sasaki, another former hero now empowered by Genma, to dismember Musashi by severing his arms and legs. However, Sasaki surprisingly opts to slice Iemen's own limbs, a clear indicator of his disbelief in Iemen's cause. Iemen's grand ambition was to eliminate all the samurai trained during times of peace and amass an army fueled by the Genma's power. Despite his now limbless state, he perseveres and drags himself to his office. When Sahe arrives, Iemen requests his assistance in becoming a Genma, offering him dominion over half the world in return. Sahe complies, carrying Iemen to the laboratory and ultimately smothering him to death. He admits to having a secret mission, which was to eliminate everyone connected to the gold mine to safeguard its secrecy. Naturally, Sahe kills Iemen. The final duel between Musashi and Kojiro Sasaki, the human factor. The duel between Musashi and Kojiro takes place with hordes of relentless zombies attacking them. Their battle leads them deeper into the mine, where Musashi stumbles upon the modern weapons and tanks being developed by Iemen. Kojiro manages to convince Musashi to give up his humanity and embrace the power of an Oni, allowing them to conclusively settle their long-standing feud. Musashi succumbs to the allure of the power that the gauntlet provided and transforms into a powerful Oni, driven solely by the desire to vanquish the Genma. In the midst of this intense battle, Sayo enters the fray, serving as a poignant reminder of Musashi's humanity. This leads Musashi to discard the gauntlet and face Kojiro with just an oar, which is a reminder of their initial encounter. However, the final result of the battle was never revealed. Musashi was in his human form and the entire mine was collapsing around the two fighters. However, it is quite possible that Musashi managed to save himself. In fact, the gauntlet was returned to its resting place by someone unknown. Now, the only two people to have left the mine were Sae and Sayo, and none of them had the gauntlet in their possession. So it had to be Musashi who defeated Kojiro and walked out safe. Sayo's fate. Sayo's ordeal becomes a roller coaster ride as she attempts to flee alongside Sahe, but she has to witness the entire event between Sahe and Iemen in the process. Following Iemen's death at the hands of Sahe, Sayo fears for her own life. Sahe reveals that he is meant to end Sayo's life as well, but against expectations, he chooses to spare her. She could have left with him, but chose to go back to her savior, Musashi, because he needed her. Pressing deeper into the mines, Sayo's determination leads her to remind Musashi of his promise. Musashi in turn guides her to safety, enabling her to escape the collapsing mine. Sayo successfully reaches the nearest town and secures lodging with a gold she had secured from the mine. Meanwhile, at the temple, the monks stumble upon the gauntlet at the entrance, devoid of any other presence. Puzzled by its newfound weight, they gaze skyward, pondering the mysteries that lies ahead. What does Onimusha mean? Onimusha essentially means a demon warrior. Oni, in Japanese folklore, refers to demons, ogres, or evil spirits. These creatures are often depicted with horns, sharp claws, and vividly colored skin, such as red or blue. They are typically seen as malevolent entities. Musha means warrior or samurai. It's a term associated with individuals who possess martial prowess and adhere to a code of honor. Like the samurai in Japanese history, so Onimusha essentially means demon warrior or samurai of demons, which reflects the central theme of the video game series, where characters, often samurai or warriors, combat supernatural forces, including demons and other worldly creatures. So in the series, Musashi was our Onimusha, who had become an Oni, a demon who wanted to consume the souls of the Genma, another class of demons. Marvel's verdict. The show maintains a close connection to the game's core concept but leans heavily on action sequences, rarely allowing more than a few minutes to pass without another thrilling fight. The action is brought to life with style thanks to the guidance of director Takashi Miike and the expert stunt coordination of Keiji Tsuji. However, there's a noticeable quirk in the series, a blend of 2D and 3D animation that doesn't always sit well. While the hand-drawn animation is gorgeous and captures the essence of the game, the introduction of 3D CGI elements can feel somewhat arbitrary and at times detracts from the overall experience. The show's inconsistency in blending these two animation styles can be a drawback, making it a love-it-or-hate-it feature. Nonetheless, Onimusha offers a gory and nostalgic experience for fans of the franchise, featuring dismemberments and horrific monstrosities, staying true to its root. While it's a successful adaptation for Netflix, it doesn't quite reach the heights of some of its counterparts. Overall, Onimusha serves as a reminder that video game adaptations can work on the big or small screen, with animations being a reliable format. It's a promising sign for the future of video game adaptations in a world of entertainment. If you like the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.